You've probably seen photos of celebrities getting mobbed at airports, billionaires stepping off private jets into camera flashes, or A-listers sneaking through hotel lobbies with baseball caps pulled low. But here's what most people don't realize. The ultra-wealthy you actually see traveling are the ones who want to be seen. The truly rich, the ones at the very top, have perfected the art of invisible travel. They move through the world using a parallel infrastructure that most of us don't even know exists. We're talking private terminals that look like luxury living rooms, hotel entrances hidden behind unmarked doors, and entire teams dedicated to making sure their clients never appear in a single Instagram post. Today on Exposed Extravagance, we're pulling back the curtain on how the ultra-wealthy travel without ever being seen. Most people only see the surface of wealth. If you prefer understanding the structure behind it, subscribe. Let's dive in. When you think of airport travel, you probably picture security lines, gate announcements, and crowded terminals. But if you're flying private, you're not just skipping those lines, you're entering a completely different building. Welcome to the world of fixed base operators, or FBOs. These are private terminals used exclusively by private aviation, and they're essentially five-star hotels that happen to be attached to runways. We're talking marble floors, fresh flowers, gourmet catering, and staff who know your name before you arrive. Here's how it works. Your car pulls directly onto the tarmac, right up to your aircraft. You step from your vehicle into your plane in about 30 seconds. No TSA screening, no boarding passes, no waiting. The FBO staff has already handled your luggage, cleared your customs paperwork if you're flying internationally, and stocked your aircraft with whatever you requested. But the real magic is in the privacy architecture. The best FBOs have separate entrances and private lounges for each client. At Signature Flight Support or Atlantic Aviation, two of the most prestigious FBO chains, high-profile clients can request to be driven around the back of the building and escorted through dedicated VIP suites. Some facilities even have underground tunnels connecting the lounge to the aircraft, so you're never exposed to open air where cameras might catch you. There's also something called floating, or phantom departures. This is where your flight plan lists a departure time, but you actually leave hours earlier or later. It's perfectly legal because private aviation doesn't operate on the same scheduling systems as commercial flights. This means paparazzi or over-eager fans who might track flight data can't reliably predict when you'll actually be traveling. The cost. Using an FBO typically runs between $500 to several $1,000s on top of your flight costs, depending on services. But for someone worth hundreds of millions, that's a rounding error compared to the value of total privacy. And here's something wild. Some ultra-wealthy individuals actually own or lease hangar space at FBOs. This means their aircraft never sits in view. It's stored in a private hangar, rolled out only when they're ready to board, and then immediately returned to storage. No public exposure whatsoever. Now let's talk about what happens when you land. You'd think a five-star hotel lobby would be the natural next stop, right? Wrong. The ultra-wealthy don't use hotel lobbies. They use hidden entrances that most guests don't even know exist. Nearly every luxury hotel in major cities has what's called a VIP or residential entrance. These are unmarked doors, usually on side streets or in underground parking structures, that connect directly to private elevators. The Peninsula Hotel in Beverly Hills has an entire underground arrival system. The Carlyle in New York has an entrance on a quiet side street that's been used by presidents and Hollywood royalty for decades. The process is choreographed like a military operation. Your security team notifies the hotel exactly when you'll arrive. Hotel staff positions someone at the entrance, the elevator is held, and a route is cleared to your suite. From car to room, you might encounter 0 other guests. The entire journey takes less than 2 minutes. But it goes deeper. Many luxury hotels maintain what are called residential floors, or private residences that aren't even accessible from the main elevator bank. The Four Seasons, Ritz-Carlton residences, and Amen properties have entire sections that require special key cards or codes. If you're staying on these floors, you're not just avoiding the lobby, you're in a completely separate building that happens to share an address with a hotel. Some hotels take this even further with dedicated arrival suites. The Royal Suite at the Burj Al Arab in Dubai has a separate entrance through a private tunnel. The Ty Warner Penthouse at the Four Seasons New York has its own dedicated elevator. These aren't just rooms, they're fortresses of privacy. And then there's the art of the decoy. High-profile guests will sometimes book multiple rooms under different names. One room gets the main reservation, complete with luggage and activity. Meanwhile, they're actually staying in a completely different room or suite under an alias. Hotel staff is briefed on the arrangement, but even most employees won't know the real situation. The cost for this level of discretion? Top suites at luxury hotels run anywhere from $5,000 to over $100,000 per night. But that price includes a staff trained in the highest levels of confidentiality. These hotels have entire protocols for high-profile guests. No employee photographs, strict non-disclosure practices, and management that personally handles any potential privacy breaches. Let's talk about something that sounds straight out of a spy movie but is completely standard practice among the ultra-wealthy: travel aliases. When you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars, your real name is a security risk. It's traceable through public flight manifests, hotel reservations, restaurant bookings, and more. So the wealthy simply don't use their real names when they travel. This isn't illegal, by the way. You can book hotels, restaurants, and most services under any name you choose. The only time you need to show real identification is for international travel documents and financial transactions. Everything else? Fair game. The most common approach is using a trusted assistant's name. Your executive assistant or chief of staff books everything under their own identity. To the hotel, restaurant, or event venue, your assistant is the guest. You're just someone in their party. This provides a natural layer of separation between your public identity and your actual movements. Some go further with what's called a privacy entity, or travel LLC. These are legitimate business entities created specifically for travel purposes. Your jet is owned by Sapphire Holdings LLC. Your hotel reservations are under Avalon Services Group, and your restaurant bookings are under Meridian Consulting. These entities are real registered companies, often with their own email domains and phone numbers managed by your staff. But good luck connecting them back to you without serious investigative resources. Then there are the classic aliases used consistently across all travel. Think of it like a stage name, but for your private life. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is famously overused, so savvy travelers pick something more creative. The key is consistency, so hotel and service staff become familiar with the alias and treat it as legitimate. There's also the practice of using diplomatic or corporate protocols. Some ultra-wealthy individuals hold positions with private foundations, cultural institutions, or international organizations that provide them with alternative credentials. A billionaire might travel as a board member of their own charitable foundation, which provides a legitimate professional identity that doesn't immediately connect to their personal wealth. The most sophisticated operators use what's called layered anonymity. Your jet is owned by LLC number 1, which is managed by LLC number 2, which is registered to a trust, which lists an attorney's office as the contact. Your hotel reservation is under your assistant's name, but the payment comes from LLC number 3. Your dinner reservation is under a different name entirely. Even someone trying to track you would need to connect multiple disconnected dots, and by the time they do, you're already gone. Behind every seamlessly invisible trip is an army of people you never see. The concierge logistics team. These are the fixers, the advanced scouts, the coordinators who make sure that every single detail of your journey happens exactly as planned. We're not talking about hotel concierges here. We're talking about private concierge companies that specialize in high net worth clients. Companies like quintessentially John Paul and Knightsbridge Circle operate 24/7 operations centers that can arrange anything, anywhere, at any time. Need a Michelin-starred chef flown to your yacht in the Mediterranean? Done. Want an entire museum opened privately for your family? Handled. Require a specific doctor to meet you at your hotel in Tokyo within 6 hours? Already on a plane. But the real value is in the advance work. Days or even weeks before you travel, your logistics team is on the ground. They're walking the routes you'll take, vetting the staff who will interact with you, checking sightlines for privacy, and establishing relationships with local contacts. By the time you arrive, every variable has been controlled. Let's walk through a typical trip. Say you're flying from Los Angeles to Paris for a 3-day visit. Your logistics team has already coordinated with your FBO in Los Angeles, arranged customs pre-clearance so you won't wait when you land in Paris, contacted Le Bourget Airport's private terminal in Paris, and secured a route from the airport to your hotel that avoids traffic and high-visibility areas. They've confirmed your suite at the hotel is ready, had it stocked with your preferences, arranged for a private entrance, briefed the hotel staff on your requirements, and made reservations at restaurants under aliases. They've also hired local security, coordinated with your personal protection team, arranged ground transportation through a trusted company, and created contingency plans for every scenario, from flight delays to medical emergencies. All of this happens invisibly. You step off your plane in Paris, and everything just works. The car is waiting exactly where it should be. The hotel suite is perfect. The restaurant has your preferred table ready. It feels effortless, but it's actually the result of dozens of hours of coordination by a team of professionals. These services aren't cheap. High-end concierge companies charge annual membership fees starting at $50,000, with per-request fees on top of that. For ultra-wealthy clients with complex needs, the annual cost can easily exceed $500,000. But when you consider that this team is protecting your privacy, your security, and your time, the value proposition is clear. Finally, let's talk about the invisible shield that makes all of this possible: professional security teams. When most people think of celebrity security, they picture large bodyguards in dark suits creating a physical barrier. But that's actually the opposite of what sophisticated security looks like. Real security for the ultra-wealthy is about being invisible, blending in, and preventing problems before they occur. Executive protection teams for high-net-worth individuals typically consist of trained professionals with backgrounds in military special operations, law enforcement, or intelligence services. These aren't just bodyguards. They're risk assessment specialists, advanced scouts, and strategic planners. The team structure usually includes close protection agents who stay near the principal, advance agents who scout locations ahead of arrival, an intelligence coordinator who monitors threats and tracks information, and an operations manager who coordinates the entire security operation. For major trips, you might have 10 to 20 people working in various capacities, most of whom you'd never know were there. Their job is to create what's called a bubble of normalcy. You should be able to move through your day feeling completely natural, while the security team manages every potential risk in the background. They're identifying potential threats, controlling access points, monitoring your route, coordinating with local authorities when necessary, and maintaining constant communication with each other. One of their most important functions is privacy protection, not just physical security. They're watching for cameras, discouraging photography, identifying people who might be following you, and managing your digital footprint. In some cases, they'll use technology countermeasures to detect surveillance devices or block unauthorized photographs. The cost? A single close protection agent typically charges between $500 to $1,500 per day, plus expenses. For a full security detail on a major trip, you're looking at $10,000 to $50,000 per day, easily. Annual security costs for an ultra-high net worth individual can run into the millions. But here's the thing, you never see them working. If you notice security, they've failed. The goal is for everything to appear effortless while they're managing threats and maintaining privacy behind the scenes. So there you have it, the invisible infrastructure that allows the ultra-wealthy to move through the world unseen. Private terminals that eliminate airports as we know them. Hidden hotel entrances that bypass public spaces entirely. Aliases that make tracking impossible. Logistics teams that orchestrate every detail. And security teams that create a bubble of protected privacy. This parallel travel system isn't just about luxury, it's about control. Control over who sees you, who knows where you are, and who has access to you. It's a level of privacy that most of us can't even imagine, built on layers of specialized services, trusted relationships, and significant financial resources. The next time you see a celebrity getting photographed at an airport, remember, they're choosing to be seen. The truly wealthy, they've already arrived, conducted their business, and left, and you never knew they were there. If you found this fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden world of wealth. Drop a comment below. Would you want this level of privacy, or does it seem too isolating? I'll see you in the next one.